Let's kick it off. I'm your host, Steve, and I'm joined today by Ash and Uz. And what a week it's been. The round of 16 World Cup games are now over, and we have the quarterfinals to look forward to. And we have to start with that night in the Azteca. Uz, I want to come to you on this one because you are the oldest out of us. So first of all, I'm going to ask you, when was your first World Cup memory, and where does that England win rank in great England World Cup wins for you?
Oh, that's a really tough question. First World Cup memory, like proper memory, was Italia 90. So like I was 6 in Mexico 86, and I don't truly remember it. The first tournament I really remember was the 88 Euros, Van Basten and Hullet.
Just on Mexico 86, that's when Lineker was top scorer, right? Where did England come? That's the hand of God, isn't it? Hand of God. Yeah, of course.
So in the build-up to the Mexico game, I was telling, most of the people, at work and stuff, obviously younger than me. I was telling them, when I was a kid, the Azteca was this mythical place where this hand of God incident took place. Diego Maradona was like the greatest player of all time. And it was like everything around us as kids in football growing up was about Maradona and the hand of God when it came to England in the Azteca. So it's like, for me, that match was like, wow, it's like, even though I didn't watch it, I've watched the full 90 since, but I didn't watch it live at the time, and I wouldn't have appreciated it as a kid as well.
Yeah,
It's like a mythical game, like a special game. So like to revisit that arena again, I was telling everyone, don't miss this. I know it's 1 a.m. and it ended up being 2 a.m, which is like even worse for me because getting old these days. So
I know, but like that's what will make it so memorable in years to come. The fact that it was in the middle of the night on a Sunday. What else is going to keep you up at that time other than football, right?
Yeah, it's nuts. I'm sure you get up for the boxing and things as well.
Yeah, true. Ashes as well. It's sport though, isn't it? That's it.
Yeah. So it's pretty insane. It's a good question though in terms of like greatest ever wins, because in terms of pure emotion, I can't remember a game with that level of emotion. You can go through like a lot of great wins, and like I said, Italia 90 as a kid, I remember it, vividly. Like Platt's extra time winner against Belgium, for example, and the West Germany semi-final was an epic game. But we lost, right? And we won this game. Another one that, Ash, you might remember this. Do you remember 98, Argentina?
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably one of the closest one to Sunday, right? In terms of entertainment.
Yeah.
Epic red card, penalties.
Yeah, we went a man down, and then we were like backs against the wall, and it was this epic.
Sol Campbell disallowed goal. Remember, we took the lead, and everyone was celebrating.
It's like one of these classic nights. It felt very English. So if you said to me, right, in terms of, is this one of England's greatest ever performances? It really depends what you mean by performance, because technically speaking, Mexico were the better team, right? They were better in before the first water break. But the thing is, everyone was like, we just need to get to this hydration break, right? Jordan Pickford made a lot of good saves. We had a man sent off, and you can say, given that but having a man sent off is bad play. Gerald Konza, I know I don't want to, be negative to someone, right?
Yeah.
He can't be feeling good about that. But that was a red card, right? I don't think, was there no debate?
No.
And imagine had we lost.
Yeah. So that was a bad moment, and Mexico probably had the more of the game, but it was almost like your back's against the wall. And the 10 players who were left on the pitch, like I said, a bit reminded me of 98. They gave every little bit of it's like a classic, what you would think of an old school English fight mentality victory, right? And if you value mentality, that is probably, I can't think of another performance where the level of mentality was that high.
Yeah, that's what I want to know, because I know, performance-wise, we'll get into that, but I'm talking more occasion and just like biggest England win. Yeah, you guys mentioned a few games there we've lost. For me, like, yeah, my earliest World Cup memory is 2002, I think. And obviously, we did beat Argentina in the group stage, didn't we, in 2002? But it's group stages. Knockout football is different. And obviously, we got knocked out to Brazil, 6, Germany, no big wins there, and fast forward, like, obviously the last 8 years as an England fan for people of like, my generation, is obviously good wins because we've got to the semi-final in 2018, but we didn't play anyone to this level, Mexico in Mexico. So for me, I think it's my best England win in a World Cup.
That's the thing. It's the in Mexico bit. I think it's hard because I haven't played at altitude. But I was like, how is Declan Rice making that run if the air's so thin and right? So I think it's the altitude factor that it's hard to quantify, because if you just said, oh, England's greatest ever win was the last 16 against Mexico.
I know, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Come on.
It's the context, though, isn't it?
I think a lot of our best wins, definitely over the last 20 years, have either been at home or Europe as well. Anyway, because like you think of one of Gareth Southgate's best performances was against Germany, but that was at Wembley.
Yeah. Euros as well, right?
Yeah, and as we'll probably remember this one, like one of England's greatest performances was Euro 96 against Holland, but that was group stage at home at Wembley, but we battered them 4-1 and played some outrageous football. So in terms of epic and drama and everything, like Azteca, Mexico, even the way the game played out, like even Hollywood wouldn't have wrote that script on Sunday.
So, are we putting it number one then? For me, it's clearly number one of my England in terms of World Cup win. It's number one for me. What about you guys? Would you put it number one?
I think if you're going to say drama, I'm going to go, because again, it's heritage, and I'm an old man. But I'd say the Cameroon Italia 93-2.
Wow.
Yeah, because and we thought we were going to lose that game, and it was I think that was extra time 3-2.
Okay.
And it was a ding dong. I think we were 2-1 behind as well. So like for pure drama, Lineker, clutch. I'm gonna say that, but. Yeah.
You went American already.
This number 2 then? Does it make it into the top 2, top 3 for you?
In terms
of first.
Yeah, I think again in terms of drama, but I'm sure you're one of these people. It's like you need to win the next game and the one after.
Yeah,
right?
We're going to get onto that. Yeah,
because again, it's the last 16.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Yeah,
because this World Cup's so big and elongated, you kind of forget that that there's still a long way to go in this tournament.
Course. Yeah.
If we lose in the next match, everyone's going to be like, that was the greatest night of England.
This is what I've been saying the last few days. We have to beat Norway. Otherwise, the Azteca win, just it's not as good. So, Ashia, where does it rank for you?
It's probably going to be right up there. I said on the last pod, slightly different for us. It's like in 90, I was 6, so I didn't quite remember it. I've obviously seen footage and the hype of the country on the night and everything like that. So actually my first England World Cup was 98. So that was a good shout in terms of Argentina being the closest thing. So I'd probably put that top. But yeah, you got to back it up.
Yeah, exactly. We'll come on to that. But yeah, let's focus on the game then. So obviously, like you said, us before the first hydration break, probably on the back foot, right? And then we get the goal, or 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes from Jude Bellingham. Yeah. Do you think that was against the run of play then?
No, I think. I mean, I'm going to assume, because a lot of the talk before the game as well was the get to the first hydration break, and we seemed to play slow. We didn't. The one good thing of when England play well is they get the press right, and it didn't. It seemed Mexico were quite free in their ability to keep the ball, play the ball, and I think in that first bit that was the Pickford save, right? The left hand Jimenez. That was a good save. That was a good opportunity. So I felt Mexico, had more of the possession and the best chance, but was it by design? Was it by design? Let's say it was either by design or it was nerves, right? Again, and in both ways you'd forgive it, because they're at home, sort of. It's a big match. I thought after that though that we were much more aggressive. And
I thought we blocked the middle deliberately, so I think we baited the cross.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think that's true. Like, this is the thing.
Even in the first half, though. So I know in the second half that's definitely by design, but I think in the first half, it's a bit like carrot ball. We've been talking about it tactically. Like, we blocked the middle. Obviously, Anthony Gordon and Saka played really well defensively, even in that first half, in terms of the run off the ball run in. And yeah, we were probably more nervous on the ball, if anything.
It's an interesting question. What interests me is, historically, when England did this under Southgate, it was criticised. Oh, we should be dominant, right? So I agree with you. We kind of were passive. It was probably the right thing to do. But how do you judge that? I'm always a bit more lenient towards England and say that this was either a plan or they were nervous. And then we responded really well, right? And I think you've got to give credit to Rice making that run. Like I said, I think the whole evening, the midfield three, brilliant, really. Like, I don't know how Rice's body's still in one piece after the season he's had, but he to make the lung busting run, lovely play from Saka. But Bellingham, he's such a. I mean, I'm sure I haven't been. I don't as much follow all the coverage and stuff, but I assume that massive Bellingham hype train, because that was one of the great performances, right?
Yeah, now, but I think, Ash, you touched on this on the last pod. Pre-tournament, there was some sections of the media saying he shouldn't go. So obviously, Ash, Bellingham's done what you were saying he will do.
Yeah, I mean, he is a match winner. He's been showing it all tournament. I think Thomas Tuchel actually deserves a lot of credit, because he's clearly set the team up to focus on the goal emphasis with Bellingham. I felt more with Southgate, it was the number 8 position rather than the 10. And also, if you think back to Jude's first season at Real Madrid, where he scored tons of goals, winning goals, big moments, it was very similar with what Tuchel's doing with him. And obviously, Kane's game has gone to such a level, particularly by playing for Bayern Munich. He's reveling in like dropping into that deeper position, and like Jude's got the freedom to run on. So yeah, that was definitely two fingers up to the Muppets, who said he wouldn't get on the plane, let alone in the 11, which was just purely laughable. But yeah,
he
Steve,
wasn't he not being picked at certain points?
Yeah, but that's qualifying. Qualifying's a joke when it comes to England, right? Like, we're going to qualify, especially with the way the format is.
But it did seem to be pre-tournament a thing that he might not go.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, that was an agenda, by media.
No, but it seemed to be that Tuchel as well maybe didn't fully fancy him. That's my question.
I think
was it just
more
media?
Carrot. No, I think it's more carrot. It's like Ferguson or Jose Mourinho, right? We'll probably see it this season between the two, like Jude and Jose. I think it's carrot and stick. Like, it's just keeping him motivated. Not that I didn't think he had a problem with that, but like, you know what Tuchel's like. I mean, we go back to, Tuchel to United, right? Like, I think you and me, we were clear, we didn't want him for reasons like this. But to Steve's point, and he was pro Thomas Tuchel, this is what he does. And if he gets the results, he looks like a genius.
I can imagine, do you know the Michael Jordan meme from, what's it, Last Dance? I follow memes on Twitter more than I follow football, but it's and I took that personally, and I can imagine him Thomas Tuchel didn't pick me for this, so I took that personally and delivered one of those. Yeah, I'm a big Bellingham fan, but just he's a weird player to me. I find him a very odd player, so I understand why it's hard to fit him into the team. But I think you nailed it in that Tuchel has built the side to get the best out of Bellingham, and then Bellingham delivered the moment that Tuchel wanted him to deliver.
If you think back to the Euros 24, him playing as a number 8 generally throughout that tournament doesn't really suit him. To your point, what is he like amazing at? He's not amazing at like those elements that you need in a number 8. What he's amazing at is the elements he has for a number 10, which is score goals, come up with, crazy moments like this, the goal in the Euro tournament to save us. And obviously he's delivering it now as well.
Yeah, but I think the issue with for me and Bellingham is I think he goes beyond these numbers. So this 6, 8, 10 thing comes out of positional play and having certain roles. So I think he is more a number 8 in the... A number 10, I see like Bruno, quite creative. I don't think he's that creative. So I see him as like this guy who's got high energy, gets in the tackle. So I'd put him in the central of midfield, right? But then he's so good in the penalty area. So
I think he's like Gerrard in that sense.
Yeah, so he reminds me. I was thinking, okay,
young Steven Gerrard.
What is Jude Bellingham? Well, like he's almost like a bit of a Gerrard Lampard hybrid player where
crashes the box.
Yeah, like Lampard would be this guy where you're like, okay, where do you play him? Or you play him behind a striker, but he's not really a number 10. He's not a number 8 or a midfielder, but he's not a striker. But he's this guy who just will score a ton of goals because he has beautiful timing. And that's what Tuchel's done. He's where Southgate got it wrong is if you play someone like Foden and other players who like to congest the middle, it doesn't leave Bellingham that room to make those runs. So he's playing a Gordon and a Saka holding the width. As you mentioned, Kane has always been someone who can drop deep and then get into the box. But as he gets into the box, Bellingham joins him, and his timing and finishing is so perfect. And it's very hard. How do you defend that?
Yeah,
it's really hard to defend.
It's also not just technical; it's mental. Like Bellingham has that, whatever you call it, just that elite, sportsman
he's
thing.
A winner.
He just delivers. Yeah,
he's an absolute winner. Steve, I'm interested to know what your thoughts were on that, like opening part of the game, like even before the first goal.
Yeah, I mean, like I wasn't expecting to be like all guns blazing, Mexico in the Azteca. Everyone's talked about the altitude, delayed kickoff. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to kind of like start all guns blazing. I was expecting us to like feel our way into the game. So yeah, what didn't really surprise me, but I think again, it's just moments in these games, like, in other games or in previous tournaments. I think Bellingham actually mentioned it in his interview, didn't he? He said when I was growing up watching England, he kind of, I can't remember the word he used, but he basically called them like, letdowns or something like that.
Cracked or something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, like they would have cracked, he said, like the old England team. So it's just about, the moments. And Kane, and we talked about this, Kane and Bellingham, they're just two world-class players that are in and around the box, right?
Yeah, I think it helps. I think it helps the kind of globalization of football, maybe not globalization, but Europeanization. And having Bellingham have played at Dortmund, played at Real Madrid, and also the Champions League, English teams being more involved, and then also having a lot more foreign players come and play in the Premier League. That when you go to a World Cup, you have a bit more familiarity. When we're talking about like a 90, a 96, a 98, there was this exotic thing of these players. But really, you could go to that Mexico team, and Bellingham should be like, I'm better than all of you. I played for Real Madrid.
Yeah.
So funnily enough, that's exactly what I was saying before the game. Like if you take the team, the Mexico team on paper, it's not that good. Their forward has just left Fulham to go to Wolves, who are in the Championship. But this is the beauty of the World Cup. Like they've raised their game throughout the tournament. Mexico, I've been actually really impressed with them up until this point. So that's what the World Cup does.
And the record, right? I know, they. I know the teams that they probably played over the years haven't been the best, but is it 2 defeats in 87 games at the Azteca, like leading up to that game? So England,
the altitude was really interesting, right? Because there was so much made about it. I saw plenty of journalists on social media going for a 5K run because apparently their fitness matters when like working out the altitude levels in terms of
you're one of these
elite athletes.
You're one of these Twitter trolls.
No.
The amount of stick Miguel Delaney was getting, and I was just
really,
it was like, come on. It makes he was saying, look, at all fitness levels, it's going to affect you. So why not? It's a general. The amount of people on Twitter having a go at him. Come on, it's a bit of fun.
I think it was just the volume of journos he did. But like, fair enough. Like, but I have to say, I thought they were going to gas, around the 70-minute mark and like almost like on their deathbed. But they looked fairly fresh to me. Like you said, Declan was just running galore when the guy's got hamstring problems.
I guess we might find out in the next game what it actually took out of them. But I guess just going back to the game, like going obviously 2-0 up in the space of 2 minutes, Jude with the 2 goals, then we're in obviously dreamland. The whole country's in dreamland at 2:30 in the morning. And then, we concede the goal just before half time, right? So, that was disappointing. Like, it was a bit of a scrappy goal to concede, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, look, if we got a worry about this England team outside of playing so-called good football, I'd say it's the defence. Like, I was saying maybe a couple games ago, I'm not totally convinced about Concert. Like, I've watched him enough at Villa. He just makes enough mistakes to give teams a chance, especially, as we go on to the tournament. Like, we're up against Haaland next. So you got to be really on it. So very disappointing clearance, on that first goal. But yeah,
was it Ghana? I can't remember one of the games where they should have given away a penalty.
Well, yeah, it was a penalty, and it was a red card, wasn't it?
It was like what? That was a terrible challenge.
Conce's
challenge. Like this is the thing that again, on the balance of the game, we gave up far too many chances. And we relied a lot on, And this is the thing. How much credit do you give the tactical side versus individuals like the midfield? Really, their lungs must be dead.
Because, Elliot Anderson deserves a massive shout out. He's been very understated in this tournament. I think he's been good pretty much in every game, and obviously there's a lot of question marks about his price tag to City. But I thought he really stepped up in an Elliot Anderson way, just very understated, but he was all over the pitch. I think he won the ball on the second goal as well, from Mexico's kickoff. And that midfield deserves so much credit.
Even Anthony Gordon. I mean, I'm not a big Anthony Gordon fan.
Yeah.
Best game for England,
He was crucial.
Yeah.
The running power and getting the penalty as well.
No complaints on the red card, right? Before the penalty.
Clear red. Good use of VAR.
We'll get Keir Starmer, Andy Burnham to give a call, right, to Gianni.
But
come on.
VAR has got so much stick again, right? But it was the right decision.
Yeah. Who was it? I can't remember. Maybe Alan Shearer was pretty upset. Oh, maybe I'm thinking about another decision. I can't remember.
I mean, we'll come on to VAR, but no complaints with the red. And then like you said, as Gordon, brilliant running, wins the penalty. And again, Harry Kane, we talked about it with the world-class players that we have. What a penalty under that pressure. Like, unbelievable penalty, right?
Yeah, my question, is this the first tournament where I've seen Kane actually looks fit? He looks fit. I'm thinking back to every other tournament, and I've always felt like he's maybe he had an injury in March or something, or he's always come to the tournament and he hasn't looked fully fit, even though he's still scored goals.
Yeah,
he looks on it. He looks properly on it. And maybe that's playing in the Bundesliga, right? You don't have the level of intensity. I don't know what it is, but Kane looks on it. And he's been really good. This is, for me, his best tournament ever.
Yeah, I really think the Bayern Munich element plays a part, not just in terms of physicality of playing in Bundesliga, but it's just that next level, isn't it? Like, that's why we always wanted Kane at United, for the same reason. It's like it just takes you on to another level, and I think Kane's found that, playing with world-class players like Elise, German internationals, and even the surroundings that he will have at Bayern Munich. It just demands the best of the best, right? Spurs just does not do that. So I think he's just raised his game, like you said, I agree. Ironically, was he 32, maybe going on 33? His best tournament for England.
Yeah. All right. Any more special shout outs then to individuals before we wrap up the England-Mexico game? Who else stood out apart from the people we've covered?
Hasn't had a good tournament, but I thought Pickford did really well. A number of important saves.
Yeah.
Obviously, it would help if he had longer arms, is the running joke, right? But he made some. This is the thing. If your goalkeeper's doing a good job, then you have to give the opposition a bit of credit. And then the other one, bit of credit to Tuchel for changing the system and going to a back three. I thought Dan Burn doing what I would have thought was the Harry Maguire role. But they were a bit one-dimensional. I thought Mexico in that last part of the game, they didn't create anything. And you can give a bit of credit to Tuchel for like setting that up with the 5-3 and then just basically saying, yeah, you cross it in because we've got giants in the box and you're not getting past us.
Yeah, like De Zerbi with the bait the press. I think Thomas Tuchel done, bait the cross.
Yeah. Yeah, and like we touched on earlier, it was just back those last, 10, 20 minutes, 10, 11 minutes of added time, just backs against the wall, just like heroic end to the game, it felt like.
I'll tell you a reason also why I think it was by design, because if you saw the positions where the crosses were coming from, they were deep crosses as opposed to like byline crossing. So if it was byline crossing, you would have thought Mexico are playing 1-2s and getting into like good attacking positions to get the ball in. But really, and this is why it really favoured the likes of Dan Burns, it was dumping the ball in, which is classic Premier League crossing towards the end of a game. Our boys, especially the centre-backs, they love that type of defending, right? Jed Spence put in some great slide tackles as well. It was made for the likes of Dan Burn and Jed Spence, and I think we're going to have a different challenge like with the next game.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, cool. We'll wrap it up there on Mexico-England for now. So now I want to get into a new section for Let's Kick It Off. Brand new. We're going to do this every week.
This? Okay.
Moving forward.
Surprise us.
Nice sponsor.
Not yet, but we're going to do every week moving forward. We're going to have Baller of the Week. So we'll discuss who's our baller of the week. There's some good contenders in this last week. And like also Waste Man of the Week. So
Waste Man of the
There's
Week.
a fee for that as well.
Yeah, we've got a few for that. Let's start with ballers. I think we've got some good contenders. Obviously, Jude has to be in the mix, right? Yeah, for what he done against Mexico. We've got Messi, obviously, to put in there, surely. Haaland as well, for what he done against Brazil. So any other shouts you can think of over the last week, over these round of 16 games, sorry?
I didn't fully watch the game properly. I only caught the end of it, but that Argentina-Egypt game looked a bit spicy. Yeah. And so I'm sure I'd like to watch it properly. I'm sure there's some Egyptian players that deserve some credit. There was the goal that got disallowed. Man, if that is one thing. I was just like, you can't. Yeah. I know technically you can go that far back, but that was too far back. I mean, come on.
We'll come on.
I
come
said
on
it. Leachy got away with that, but yeah.
Let's stick to task. Who's the ballers then? So like. I'm going to make the case for Haaland because as much as what Jude done was unbelievable, Haaland for Norway beating Brazil 2 goals, like, yeah, it seems like he's carrying that team.
Steve, have you heard some of his stats? They're absolutely insane. So first one is 14 international games in a row he scored.
Yeah, he scored in every World Cup game, obviously, this tournament.
Yeah, and his record for Norway, I didn't pay attention up until the fact that we're playing them. I think it's 62 goals in like 54 games. What is he, like 24 or something like that?
Yeah, it's incredible. But yeah, the fact that he's doing it for Norway, that's the big thing, isn't it? That's why I'd probably tip him over Jude for this week. And I'll be honest, I don't want to give it to Messi because I think we need to talk about the whole FIFA thing with Argentina. Obviously Messi's a genius, but I'd say Haaland. Can you argue with that?
You can't, but there are other candidates, but I'm just going to check some of the results again because I can't remember them off the top of my head.
Well, I would say on overall performance, for me personally, I think it would be wrong not to say Bellingham, but I think that's just an obvious answer, right? But in terms of what I watched the Brazil-Norway game properly, and Haaland delivered what Haaland delivers, which is crucial, brilliant, like centre-forward box play, right? Jude delivered 2 crucial centre-forward box play moments.
Plus
the rest
defending.
Of the game, Haaland didn't really, was kind of, the rest, this is my thing of Jude's a weird player. In that, I don't think he's a number 10 because he does so much like work rate. He did so much running, which sometimes it's too much running, right? And this is where I think Tuchel's got it right. And where I think when Southgate made that point and everyone blasted him was that I hadn't found a replacement for Calvin Phillips. It's that having the second midfielder And Ash is a really good one, is Steven Gerrard. When Gerrard played with Mascherano and Xabi Alonso, that allowed him to make the bursting runs without... Because if you play as an 8 and you vacate midfield, right, it becomes a problem. So I don't think Jude is a number 10, but I think he needs 2 8s behind him, or a 6 and an 8 behind him. So for me, the whole performance, the emotion, the doing it at altitude, that amount of running... I think he's matched Haaland on the 2 goals, and he's delivered the full 90.
Yeah, I think that's a strong case. To be fair, he's matched him with the goals, like you said, and the defensive shift. And we were down to 10 men, in the Azteca. So I can go with that. I think it's pretty close. Ash, you going to sign that off? Give it to Jude.
I've got one more shout because he gave, I think, the moment of the tournament outside of England, Sidney Cabral from Cape Verde against Argentina with that equalising goal on Friday night. Like, there must have been people who were not watching that game, and then they've heard Cape Verde have equalised. It's 1-0 going into extra time. Then people have turned on. Argentina go 2-1 up standard, and then just an absolute wonder of a strike. And
it's
just one of those World Cup moments like you're going to remember for a very long time.
Was that the celebration where he goes in the stand? Was that the one?
Yeah, the Wimbledon celebration.
Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that.
That was amazing.
This is the greatest moment of my life.
Yeah, I'm going to go and celebrate with my family and friends. And
it was
first
a pure
World Cup, Friday night,
strike.
Just world-class World Cup.
That's a good shout, because I remember I was like because it was 2-1 Argentina in extra time, right? And I was thinking, I'm going to go to bed soon. And then he did that. I was like, wow. So honourable mention, but surely we're giving it to Jude, aren't we?
Is this baller of the week?
Baller of the week, yeah.
And that could be anything, right? Could just anything. Okay, how about Donald Trump, baller of the week?
Not wasteman of the week.
No, because think about it. What a guy! What a fantastic individual!
What a president!
What a president! He calls up FIFA and gets a red card. I mean, that's genius.
First ever red card rescinded.
What's Keir Starmer done? Right, ever, right? What would you think if your national leader had the balls in baller of the week to call up the head of the president? It just shows how much. Don't you want a leader that cares about sport, that has connections at the highest level?
He knows sports as well. If you heard his tantrum yesterday, he knows sports.
He knows sport. He made a good comment. He said as well, right? It was 2 players coming together. He didn't feel it was a red card.
Yeah, it looks sad when you slow it down.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You got to give Donald J. Trump credit where it's due for getting that decision over. Well, do you think? Firstly, it's a question, because I think there's a bit of debate. Was it a red card, the Balogun?
Yes, it's dangerous.
Yeah, for the modern game, I'd say yes. Yeah,
it's a tough one, because under the rules, technically, it's a red card.
Yeah,
but
excessive force, right?
Well, they've removed
endangering a player. That's the key.
But they've removed intent. So let's say, let's say, for example, you just stumble around. There's a hole in the pitch or something, right? You trip over, and then you go and stamp on someone's ankle, and it's a red card because there was no intent. Doesn't come into it. So he wasn't really making a challenge. It felt like
His
was
clumsy. Accidentally lands on that guy's ankle. Yeah.
So technically, it's a red card, but it feels wrong that a player should have got sent off and then banned for the next game. So give Donald Trump credit for
Donald J.
He said it himself. It's like it's one thing you're getting punished in that game, but then you have to miss the next game.
So this all leads nicely into Wasteman of the Week. But before we get on to that, I will say, so I think I read it today that, obviously there was the talk when did it break? Friday night, that the England game might get moved to Sunday 7 p.m. right, our time, and obviously the talk was about thunderstorms and weather. But I read from Adam Crafton in The Athletic that one of the bigger concerns was security as well, because the late kickoff Mexico time would have allowed more time for drinking, etc. So apparently Keir Starmer was involved. So I think the FA chairman. Obviously, the England FA weren't happy with it, bringing the kickoff forward at short notice. I believe Starmer was involved in making sure the game stayed at the same time. And I actually think that was quite important, because you've probably got England fans that were only getting in on that morning, have sorted all their travel out, and for FIFA to try and then move the game at less than 48 hours notice, like, that's not on, surely.
It would have been a disaster for those fans, because not just the travel, the logistics, how much money they all would have spent in order to make sure that they get on time for kickoff.
Yeah, so I think, again, this all leads into Waste Man of the Week. It's not even a debate. I mean, Gianni Infantino is just the slimiest character I've ever seen in football. Like, he's just so filthy. He makes, like, Sepp Blatter look clean. Like,
I think that's the problem. Like, how do you compare them? There's the whole of FIFA over all of time. There's been books written about it, and it's I don't know what the solution would be. A full breakaway, that all the countries just were like, you know what, we're not doing this. UEFA and South America, we're setting up our own tournament. Africa, do you want to join us?
Yeah.
type
well,
thing.
That's the thing, isn't it? I was actually thinking about this. Like, us fans, players, clubs, like, we all know what FIFA are like over the years, but how do you kind of get out of it? You're stuck, like, in with them, really, aren't you?
Well, the problem is this World Cup was designed, obviously, with more teams so that it could raise more money, so that, look, some of that money is going to get to teams that vote for Infantino, and I think the next election is next year. So we'll see, because what he's done with, like, this move with the unlucky US player as well, having his name tarnished, ironically, English. But yeah, it's an absolute sham from Infantino, and it's just a long string of things he's been doing. I mean, even on this World Cup, apparently he's taken like 30 private flights around America. So who's funding that? So there's just so many different questions. So you'd like to think the associations will take a stand by thinking next year we're not going to vote for him after this latest stunt.
Can I give a Waste Man of the Week shout that you won't like, Steve?
Go on.
Just to rile you up a little bit. How about Poch?
Okay.
How about I know your man, right? The USA went out, bit of a poor performance. I don't obviously watch the US men's national team intently, but because I like the ESPN coverage, so I listen in a lot of their podcasts, and they've never felt that Poch has done a good job. And don't you feel that it's a pretty poor way to go out of a World Cup? Got pretty much battered, and it's a bit of a flop, really, don't you think, in this job?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, I'd say to you, before this World Cup started, what would you have said is a par finish for USA?
Yeah, but at least
irrespective of roots and what happened, what would you have said is a par finish?
Yeah, typically as a home nation, just generally, you want to get into the knockouts, and he did. So he got through the group. The one thing I'd say this group stage was it's pretty simple, right?
Well, you say that, like, Spain drew to Cape Verde 0-0. Like,
no, to qualify.
Yeah, but like they beat Paraguay. Was it 4-1?
That was actually one of the best performances I've seen from a team.
They started on fire, and it's easy to say in hindsight, they should have won that game or whatever. But it's just, I think it's recency bias as well, because as much as you're joking at us about Trump being baller of the week, he put massive pressure on that whole team. I mean, the football community was like outraged, right, with Trump after that happened. So a lot of pressure was applied to the team because of what Trump done. So
I've got another shout. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, blasphemy!
Oh God,
blasphemy! It's more to stoke the fire, but there has been a lot of heat coming his way over the last week.
Yeah,
Arsenal fans are going to love you for that suggestion, Ash.
I mean, his career speaks for itself. So
I'll tell you what. How about not Ronaldo? How about Martinez?
I was going to say it's not.
Yeah, Martinez is an absolute fraud.
I was discussing this yesterday, but the thing is, I don't understand. It must be that the whole nation of. I need to speak to someone Portuguese about this. Is it that the whole nation of Portugal wants Ronaldo to play, and therefore he has to play? Is it just the FA loves Ronaldo? Like, what is it? That means that you are so evidently sacrificing your opportunity to win this World Cup by playing this guy so that he can be the centre of attention and score goals. And I don't know what it is, because there must be some psychological pressure in the way that. Because even when he was at United, and I kept making this argument to especially to you, Steve, I'm like, no, look, he's the problem. He's not the problem. And then you can point to the fact that he's got 146 or whatever goals, so he'll still score goals. And I'm like, yeah, but he makes the team worse because you now have to focus the way you play. It's going back to that thing, like Jude Bellingham. Tuchel built the team around Bellingham, right? Martinez is the what is it, the waste man?
Yeah.
But he built the team around servicing Ronaldo, which doesn't suit the players in that squad. Like Bruno, for example. Absolutely love him. He's useless in this squad because Bruno's a through ball player and you've got a striker who can't run. And he can't jump anymore either. He can't move.
Yeah.
So, like,
I said it on the last pod as like another problem outside of age, physicality is he plays in an utterly shit league, right? So, like, for example, had he continued to try and play in a European league, even like the Portuguese league, you know, that sharpness of get into the ball and stuff like that, it'd be like marginally better had he been doing that. But he's been playing in a waste man league, which doesn't help.
It's been long gone. I think, like, even that, you know, like his jumping ability just doesn't really exist.
He should have retired after the last World Cup.
Yeah, he's
22,
just floating around the box, but he'll still. If you look at Portugal, I need to look at the numbers, but I'm sure he probably still takes a high proportion of their shots because they're looking for Ronaldo.
Yeah, you could see it throughout this tournament. Like there were certain moments, whether it's a free ball or someone's passing to Ronaldo because it's Ronaldo. Otherwise, they'd be making a better ball or a forward pass. There's just too much baggage, and it's such a shame that, like, you know, his career on the international stage had to end like that. But yeah, it's fair enough to blame Martinez as well in that he should have had bigger balls and make bigger decisions.
And that's the thing. How can you blame Ronaldo? Because for him, he wants to play.
Yeah,
he's putting himself forward for the national team. He's saying, look, I want to play. I want to contribute. I like that rather than, you know, someone necessarily retiring
And I
early.
think as well, like, sorry, just to clarify as well, Infantino is Waste Man of the Week. Let's just like cement that. And then can I just say
second place?
No, on the Ronaldo thing, like I kind of agree with what you were saying there. I was like, yeah, from Ronaldo's perspective, he is one of the best players of all time. That's undoubted. Obviously, most people think Messi is better. I do as well, but he's undoubtedly up there.
Oh, is that the first time I've heard you say that?
I've been saying it for years now. I think like over these last five years with what Messi's done at this age. But my point is, Messi's whatever, similar age, you know, is he 40, 39?
Nearly.
Yeah, 39 maybe.
Yeah, similar age. You know, Messi's in the Argentina team and he's pulling the strings. It's working for them, but he's still getting in the team. And you know, he's walking around a lot of the time, but he's that good. He can get away with it, so it's working for Argentina. So the narrative is like it's fine. It's fine that he's in the team.
I remember a long time ago, Steve, you might remember this. We were asked this question after Cristiano had left Old Trafford, and we were asked if you could bring back Cristiano. I think this was about 2010, 11, but basically both of them at their absolute pomp. Would you bring back Cristiano or would you bring Lionel Messi? I certainly remember what me and Az said. We were like, do you know what? We've seen probably one of the best versions of Cristiano already with 2008. So we both picked Messi. And this is the reason why, because like 15 years on, the guy can't really run, but he's so good on the ball. It doesn't matter where he is on the pitch. He can play midfield. He can play a long ball from the back. He can finish. That's what Messi is. He's the best pure footballer in the world.
Yeah, that's I think undoubted, to be honest. But I want to know, do you think there's a conspiracy at FIFA for Argentina / Messi to win the World Cup?
I don't like the word conspiracy. I would say just generally there's always a bias towards bigger teams, bigger clubs, bigger nations. That is, and it's some of that might just be unconscious.
Well, right? Have you seen that in France, Morocco? All of the officials are Argentinian. Like all 5 of them are Argentinian.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. I don't think the refereeing at the tournament's been bad.
I don't think FIFA are going to sue you, by the way, if you do.
If you want to speak your mind.
No, I don't. I don't think the refereeing in the tournament's been bad. I think the use of VAR has generally been good. Like,
what did you think of it in the Egypt-Argentina game?
Yeah, that was technically, again, I can't. Were we talking about this offline or?
Yeah, earlier.
Technically correct, but I didn't like it.
What about Harry Kane one, Mexico?
The penalty
when he kicks and it's given on VAR.
Because if you look at the Croatia game, the same thing happened. Was it Modric?
Yeah.
So if that's a penalty, then Kane's is a penalty as well. And again, it's blindside. The same thing happened, right? It was kind of blindside. You're going for the ball, and then you kick the opponent. The issue I had with the Egypt goal, it just felt like
that was some goal. That was
too
rough.
many. It's like, oh, it was in the same phase of it. It was like, no, it was. It was sort of was, but it was on the other side of the pitch.
Yeah.
Out of interest, did anyone think that was a foul on Salah?
If you're giving the other one, that's the thing, isn't it?
I thought it was soft.
Both soft
I
for
personally didn't think it was a foul because I've seen Salah do that a lot at Liverpool as well.
I think he was touched and he died, to be honest.
Yeah,
so
that's personally what I thought.
I think that was soft, but I think, did you say Leacher? Did you criticize? I don't think it's Leacher's fault. There was like so many phases till the goal.
No, he gives. Well, he's touched. He has the ball, and he's
fouled. It's a foul, right?
It's soft.
It's a foul. So I agree.
It's a technical foul, but like if, for example, had the ref didn't give it. So, do you know what I mean? It's like it's been reviewed by VAR to say it's a foul.
Yeah, but it's a foul. It's not his fault. The ref doesn't give it. It's the ref's fault for not giving it. And then Argentina.
Yeah, I mean, if you gave that foul, you would be like, really? You wouldn't be like outraged.
No. If at the time it were, watching it in real time, I was like, that's not a foul. Then I watched the replay. I'm like, it is a foul. He steps on his foot.
Yeah, it's a clip.
It's a no. He steps on his foot. So that's my issue. Isn't it's a foul? But then once your centre backs come up like that, you need to defend the situation. There was a lot of like process between that foul and then them scoring.
What a ball from Mo Salah as well. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
pass.
whereby I'm not going to blame Leach because he's on the floor at the under end of the pitch. Argentina clearly have some defensive issues. They're conceding far too many goals. And for me, it was a let-off that you go that far back with that many sort of, passes, that length of the pitch, and that great a goal. Now, is it a conspiracy? I don't think so, because I kind of think it's probably the correct decision. It's just very annoying.
You know what doesn't help with the conspiracy? It's let's kick it off. Waste Man of the Week's reactions to some of like the goals. Like there's clips on Twitter of like when Egypt score and he's like kind of got his hands on his head and he's like clearly supporting Argentina. And he's meant to be
this
neutral.
Is what I mean. No, there is no neutrality. FIFA, they'll want the so-called bigger nations to do well.
More money, right?
More money.
Yeah.
And Messi progressing is definitely something they want for
preference.
He's obviously a global superstar based now in the US. So for the World Cup being a big deal as well. And Egypt, certainly probably not the most popular nation in America. Right. So it would have been let's just say Infantino for sure would want Argentina to win.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let's leave it there then on Baller of the Week and Waste Man of the Week. So I think, just to wrap up then, let's look ahead to the quarterfinals. I start with England, Norway, Saturday, 10 p.m. I have seen a little bit of talk of like possible delays, thunderstorms possibly in the forecast again, and like 40-degree heat I read as well, possibly.
Ooh, yeah.
So, it's going to be a tough one. On paper, England surely are the stronger team, and we have to, I'll say it now, I'm going to be Roy Keane about it. We have to beat Norway. Like, everything we've done in the Azteca was amazing, but if we lose to Norway, we'll be remembered for this. Mexico will always be up there and historical, but we have to beat Norway. Like, no questions asked.
I'm going back to Waste Man of the Week here, because I've just realised we should be playing Brazil.
Yeah.
We should 100%. Be playing. What has Carlo Ancelotti done there?
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? Because when you said, the hot weather, I was thinking, but we're playing Norway.
Yeah, true. Yeah. The
so
Vikings.
Like in terms of a matchup for us, it's the draw has worked out pretty well, in terms of getting Norway.
It's a different challenge for Tuchel though, because I feel like, and I don't know what you think, Az, because I kind of know Steve's opinion about Tuchel in general, but even the English media or even like the pundits and whatnot, they all seem to think Tuchel wants to do front foot football. I actually kind of disagree. If anything, he likes doing front foot counter-attacking football, and he's got the onus on Saturday to go and score goals, right, and win this game, as opposed to letting Norway dictate, which I think there's a possibility that they will they will give the ball away, England, a little bit, to allow Norway to do the attacking and then spring on the counter.
Yeah, and Haaland. Norway, Haaland against our defence, I'm worried about, to be honest.
Yeah.
Which is why we need to attack, and that's the point.
Norway just seem to keep the ball better. I'm not a. Probably need some Arsenal fans on here to tell me I'm wrong. I'm not a big Odegaard fan. So in the whole Odegaard versus Bruno debate, which goes on forever, I'm, as you know, like massive pro Bruno, because for me it's all about end product. But in this, you're talking about these hot 40 degrees and all of this. Of all of the players, who's the most sort of tiki-taka of the play, of the midfield of Norway and England? Odegaard's probably the one who can link the play. And I can imagine Norway having possession. And as you were saying, Ash, that Tuchel goes, you can have the possession, but we're going to whack you down with pace down the wings and do the same thing again. Kane and Bellingham late runs into the box with counter attacks.
Maybe one for Rashford. You know, like
Gordon's really good at that as well.
Yeah.
To be fair to him, I don't know. I think one of you two made the point, like what's in the tank. So I'd like to see. Same with Novak. I don't know if you watched the tennis last night. 5 hours of that. I was just like, I wonder,
unreal.
What are you going to wake up? You know, like when you go through that kind of thing, how do you wake up? So I'll be interested to know what the physical condition of the players is. But assuming that the likes of Bellingham, Gordon, you'd think he might go same team and try and absorb Norway.
Is Konsa suspended?
Not Konsa.
Kwanzaa.
Yeah, is he suspended?
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, until Andy Burnham puts a call in.
Andy Burnham.
He'll put a call in and say, FIFA, do you fancy moving up north?
Isn't Kwanzaa, is he a Scouser?
He was playing for Liverpool. I don't know if he's an actual Scouser.
Yeah, so, like Burnham should do one for his boy.
I love the way he said Burnham as well, not Starmer. But yeah. Okay, cool. I mean, we just have to win that. Like, even if it is penalties, like we just have to win.
Yeah, it's England versus Norway. You have to win. It's as simple as that. It's English arrogance, but you have to.
Yeah, and then the other quarterfinal on our side of the draw is Argentina, Switzerland. So I mean, you'd expect Argentina to get through with Infantino behind them. Especially
playing behind Messi.
Yeah. But
it's a shame actually Colombia didn't get through. That would have been an epic quarterfinal, especially the fans, like two crazy, nation of fans, Colombia and Argentina.
Argentina just not good.
Yeah.
They just keep doing enough.
Honestly, I can imagine Switzerland somehow.
Yeah, they could do them over. Yeah.
Just being by being organised, and then.
Well, that is a disaster for Infantino. England versus Switzerland for the semi-final.
Or Norway versus Switzerland. What would be? It'd be even worse. Yeah, Argentina. You still expect them in the moment because they have the individual quality. That in the moment, even that game, the Egypt game, just that cross and the Enzo Fernandez header.
Yeah.
It was a great goal. So
class
in the moment, you talk Messi, Ronaldo. The moments where he's needed to pull something out the bag, he's done it. So you'd think they go through, but I wouldn't count out Switzerland because Argentina they don't look solid, right? And then offensively, I don't think they've really got it together.
Yeah, no, that's fair. If we are talking of who is looking solid, France, Morocco. France are looking just hot, aren't they? But Morocco have looked good as well, so that's going to be a great game.
I think the way Morocco play as well is going to be a really good game. And Morocco can definitely cause an upset there.
Yeah, and that game is actually tomorrow tomorrow night. That's the first quarterfinal. France, Morocco.
The problem is just Mbappe is just so good at the moment.
Yeah.
So this is one good thing I'd say about the World Cup is the top players have stepped up.
Yeah.
So it's really been really nice to see Mbappe play well, Messi play well, Haaland play well, Kane
it's all the
play
top
well.
guys, right? Like no Miroslav Klose or randomness. Although it's fun when you have like a Roger Miller, do his magic like in 90. But yeah, it is the top guns.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be France just have too much firepower, basically, right? So I think Morocco are a really, really good team, but you assume France should get through. I think France really should win the whole thing.
Yeah.
They really should win the whole thing. A Thomas Tuchel masterclass in the final is
well.
Are
we writing off Spain? Because you would expect Spain to beat Belgium in the quarters, and then they would meet the winners of France, Morocco. The only thing I will say is, out of those quarters, there probably will be like one unexpected result. So like you'd hope that we beat Norway. I hope it's not England that caused the unexpected result. You'd probably think Argentina will beat Switzerland, but Switzerland definitely have a decent chance.
I'm going to call it the Switzerland is going to be the shot.
Fair.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be amazing for England, surely. Like, you'd much rather play Switzerland in the semi.
Gun to the head, I would have said Switzerland as well, but like Morocco, if like on penalties or something. Imagine how that would open the tournament up. Everyone would just be like, think they can win it.
This is sport, isn't it? Like, it's never as simple as it looks on paper. So roll on the quarters. It's gonna be fun. And just please England, just don't let us down.
Is it coming home, Steve? That is the question. Tell me.
In my prediction, like pre-tournament predictions, I had us losing to Brazil in this quarterfinal against Miami.
That was Brazil,
in Miami.
In
Miami.
You'd actually mapped out the draw.
Yeah. I knew we were going to be in Miami for this quarterfinal, and I thought we'd be meeting Brazil, and I thought we'd lose that game. But now that we're playing Norway, we have to win.
Honestly, we have to win.
We have to win.
I've got to say, Harry Kane's interview.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, Jar Jar!
It was like Jar Jar Binks mixed with like Bert from Sesame Street.
This is ridiculous.
That was hilarious. And bloody Jordan Henderson like busting his wrist.
Oh my God!
Honestly, like they're talking about Dan Burn being like the fanboy. Jordan Henderson, wow. Unlucky guy, man.
I was thinking, how if you you take helium.
Yeah, it was like that.
It's like, oh wow, the altitude is really.
Sucks all his air out of his neck.
Yeah. This is incredible. I had no idea that it would do this.
Yeah, that was brilliant. What a night.
That did actually top the night, to be fair. By that point it was 4:30 in the morning.
It's probably my favourite.
What's your category thing again? It was Waste Man and what is it? The other one?
Baller of the week.
Baller of the week, Harry Kane for his interview. Post-match interview. Yeah. Because the thing is, he didn't even stop. He just kept going.
Yeah.
And I was just
he was being asked questions, that's why.
No, but he could have said, I'm sorry, I can't
He's
speak.
Too nice. He's too nice for that.
Baller of the week, man. The guy
too
just
nice.
And the other one, I don't know if you saw this on Twitter. There was a disabled Venezuelan journalist. And he was
Jude,
being ignored. And Jude stopped for him. And I was like, class.
That's good.
Jude gets a lot of stick for sort of his attitude, and I've always said it's just because he's
perception.
But it's also he's just good, and he's confident. There's an air of confidence about Bellingham that he carries himself. But you see in those moments that
he does that a lot as well. Like
good
he's
character.
He's so good at doing good gestures like that. I think even in the group games, I think he met kids and taking selfies and whatnot. But some of the best lines after the game was have another shot and call in sick for work.
Yeah. So
English as you get.
Harry Kane, baller of the week, purely for for the interview.
Oh, that was funny. Hopefully another interview like that on Saturday night when England beat Norway. Fingers crossed. We'll wrap it up there. Thanks for joining us on this episode, and we'll catch you on the next one.